Some stories entertain you, some stories inspire you, but very few transform you. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho is one of those few. This isn't just a book, it's a map to your dreams, your destiny, and your soul. In the middle of deserts and pyramids, stars and silence, lives a boy named Santiago, a simple shepherd with an extraordinary dream. But this dream will take him far beyond what he imagined, through loss, through love, through fear, and towards something deeper, the truth about who he is. If you've ever felt lost, if you've ever wondered, what am I meant to do in this life? Then this story is your answer. Welcome to Book Summary Vault. In this video, we're not just summarizing a book, we're taking you on a journey to find your personal legend, your treasure, and maybe your true self. So take a deep breath, turn off your distractions, and let's begin. Every great journey begins with a dream, but not everyone listens to it. In a quiet village in Spain, a young shepherd boy named Santiago had the same dream, again and again. In the dream, Santiago is sleeping under a ruined old church where he usually rests with his sheep. Suddenly, a child appears beside him. The child plays with his sheep and then takes Santiago by the hand and whispers, "There is a treasure waiting for you near the pyramids of Egypt." But just as Santiago is about to ask where exactly, the dream ends. Every single time. Most people would forget a strange dream like this or laugh it off. But Santiago felt something different. This dream felt important, like a message from something bigger. Santiago didn't know what to do. He wasn't a rich man. He wasn't a prophet or a priest. He was just a simple shepherd who loved to travel and read books. But the dream kept returning. So he took a step, the first step toward his destiny. He visited a gypsy woman, a fortune teller who lived nearby. Her room smelled like incense. Her eyes were sharp. She listened carefully to Santiago's story. After a long silence, she said, "Your dream is true. You must go to the pyramids in Egypt. There you will find a treasure that will make you very rich." Santiago was shocked. "That's it? That's all you can say?" he asked. The woman smiled and said, "That's all I know. But if you find the treasure, you must give me 1/10 of it." Santiago left, feeling confused. The woman didn't tell him anything new, but something inside him felt awakened. A voice in his heart whispered, "What if this dream is real?" The next day, Santiago sat in the plaza, watching people go by. He held a book in his hands and tried to forget about the dream. But then, an old man in a golden robe approached him. His eyes were wise, his smile was warm. He seemed to know things that a stranger shouldn't know. "I am Melchizedek," the old man said. "I am the king of Salem." Santiago was surprised. "A king? Here? In a small Spanish town?" The man looked deep into Santiago's eyes and said, "You have discovered your personal legend. That is what you have always wanted to accomplish in your life." Santiago was confused again. "What is a personal legend?" The old man smiled and explained, "It is what you were born to do. Every person has a personal legend, but not everyone has the courage to follow it. Most people give up. As they grow older, they stop listening to their heart. They choose comfort over destiny." Santiago listened carefully. He felt like this man was speaking directly to his soul. Melchizedek continued, "When you really want something, when your desire comes from your heart, then the whole universe helps you achieve it." These words hit Santiago hard. Could it be true? Could the universe really help him? The king told Santiago he would give him a gift, 2 special stones, one black, one white, called Urim and Thummim. They would help Santiago make decisions when he was unsure. "Use them when you cannot read the omens," Melchizedek said. "Ask a question. If the answer is yes, the white stone will fall. If the answer is no, the black one will." Santiago took the stones and placed them carefully in his pouch. They were small, but they felt powerful. Then the king asked for a small payment, not money, but 1/10 of Santiago's sheep. "It's the price of the treasure," he said. "There is always a price for following your dream." Santiago agreed. That night, Santiago couldn't sleep. He looked up at the stars and thought about everything. His sheep, who always followed him, his books, his routine, his safe life. But now he had a chance to live a much bigger story. It's to chase something greater than comfort, a dream. It was scary, it was risky, but deep in his heart, he knew, if I don't try, I'll regret it forever. So he sold his sheep, took the money, packed a small bag, and said goodbye to the only life he had ever known. His destination, Africa. His goal, to find the treasure near the pyramids. This part of Santiago's journey is important because this is the moment of choice. A dream is just a dream until you take the first step. The gypsy gave him hope, the king gave him wisdom, but it was Santiago who had to say, yes, I will go. And in life, every dream demands that decision. Santiago was full of hope. He had sold everything, trusted a dream, and now he had finally arrived in Africa. A new land, a new language, a new beginning. He stepped off the boat and looked around. The people, the colors, the smells, everything was different. It was exciting, but also scary. Santiago sat in a small bar, holding the money he had from selling his sheep. He didn't speak the local language, but someone offered to help him. A kind-looking young man who said he could guide Santiago to the pyramids. Santiago trusted him. He had no reason not to. He gave him his money to exchange and waited. But the man never came back. He was gone. Just like that, Santiago lost everything. His money, his dream, his hope. He was alone in a country where he didn't even know how to ask for help. Most people would give up at this point, cry, blame fate, return home. But Santiago did something different. He sat down, took a deep breath, and remembered what the king had told him. When you want something, the whole universe conspires to help you. Even this pain must have a reason. The next morning, Santiago walked through the streets. He was hungry, tired, but still curious. Then he saw a crystal shop on top of a hill. The glass was dusty. The shop looked old, but something pulled him toward it. Inside was an old man, the shop owner. Business was slow. The man didn't smile. Santiago asked, using hand signals and broken Arabic, if he could clean the glass in exchange for food. The man nodded. Santiago cleaned the front window, making the crystal sparkle. Soon after, a customer entered, the first in a long time. The owner was shocked. Maybe this boy is lucky, he thought. So he hired Santiago to work there. Days turned into months. Santiago started cleaning every corner of the shop, washing, organizing, smiling at every customer. Slowly, more people began to visit. The shop started to grow, but Santiago wasn't just working, he was learning. About people, about business, about life. One day he told the owner, "Let's put a display case outside so more people will come." The old man was afraid. "We've never done that. What if it doesn't work?" Santiago replied, "What if it does?" The owner agreed. They placed a display, and the shop became popular. Every small change Santiago suggested worked. In a few months, the shop started earning more than ever before. Santiago and the shop owner often talked between customers. One day, the old man said, "You remind me of my younger self. I too had dreams. I once wanted to go to Mecca, but I never went." Santiago asked, "Why not?" The man answered, "Because I was afraid that if I fulfilled my dream, I'd have nothing left to live for." Santiago stayed quiet, but deep down, he knew he would not be like this man. He would not be afraid of his dream. Still, Santiago started feeling comfortable. He was saving money. Life was stable, safe. But something inside him whispered, "You were not born to clean glass. You were born to chase your treasure." His heart reminded him, the pyramids are still waiting. After almost a year, Santiago had saved enough money to go home, even more than he had when he first arrived. He stood at a crossroads. Go back to Spain, buy new sheep, live a safe life. Or continue toward Egypt, face more unknowns, but follow his personal legend. It was tempting to go back. He missed his homeland. He missed comfort. But then he looked at the two stones, Urim and Thummim, still in his pouch. He remembered the king's words. You must always know what it is that you want. And Santiago knew. He wanted the treasure, not just the gold, but the purpose. So he said goodbye to the crystal merchant and began walking toward the desert. This part of Santiago's story is a reminder for all of us. Failure is not the end. When he lost everything, he found something greater: experience, patience, and faith. Growth happens in hard places. Working at the crystal shop wasn't his dream, but it prepared him for the journey ahead. Comfort is dangerous. The longer you stay in one place, the harder it becomes to move. Santiago escaped the trap of comfort just in time. Dreams don't always move fast. Sometimes they take months or years, but every step matters. Santiago now walks into the desert, poor in things, but rich in wisdom. He is no longer the same boy who followed a dream blindly. He is stronger, wiser, ready. The treasure is still far away, but Santiago has become someone who can reach it. The journey continues. The desert, a place of silence, of endless sand, heat, and wind. To many, it feels empty, but to Santiago, it feels full of signs. He was now walking with a caravan of travelers, traders, and strangers, all heading toward Egypt. The pyramids were still far, but Santiago had taken the step. He had left the safety of the crystal shop and entered the unknown once again. The desert looked dangerous, but something deep inside told him, "This is where your treasure lies." As Santiago walked with the caravan, he met a strange man, an Englishman. This man wasn't looking for treasure made of gold. He was looking for something else: the alchemist. The Englishman spoke about alchemy, the magical science of turning lead into gold. But more than that, he was obsessed with finding the philosopher's stone and the elixir of life. He carried heavy books full of ancient symbols and secret formulas. Santiago was curious, but the books confused him. The Englishman said, "True alchemists don't just use books, they read the world." They read the soul of the world. Santiago didn't understand it yet, but he listened carefully. He was beginning to see the world wasn't made of just places and people. It was made of signs, omens, and energy, and the desert was full of them. One day, the caravan stopped at a desert oasis, a beautiful place with palm trees, water, and life. This is where Santiago met someone who would change his heart forever. Her name was Fatima. When Santiago saw her, time slowed down. She wasn't just beautiful, she felt familiar, as if his soul already knew her. Every day he would go near the well just to see her, and one day he gathered the courage to speak. He told her about his dream, his journey, his treasure. And Fatima replied, "I love you, and I want you to follow your dream. Real love doesn't stop your journey, it joins it." Most people stop chasing their dreams when they fall in love, but Fatima was different. She didn't want to keep Santiago, she wanted him to fly. Santiago knew she was part of his personal legend, not a distraction from it. While staying at the oasis, Santiago noticed signs of danger, like a vision in the wind. He warned the leaders of the tribe that a war was coming. They listened and prepared. Soon after, a real attack happened, but the oasis was saved, thanks to Santiago's intuition. The chief was impressed and rewarded him. Santiago was beginning to understand something deeper, that the world was speaking to him through omens, feelings, and symbols. This was the soul of the world, a silent force that connects all things: people, animals, nature, dreams, and even the wind. To listen to it, you don't need a teacher. You just need a heart that's open. One night, in the quiet of the desert, Santiago felt someone watching him. From the shadows emerged a tall man, wearing a black robe and riding a white horse. His presence was calm but powerful. His eyes held the wisdom of lifetimes. "I am the alchemist," he said. Santiago stood frozen. The man he had only heard about in stories was now real. The alchemist said, "You are ready. You have listened to the desert. You have read the omens." Santiago didn't feel ready. He still had doubts. But the alchemist looked at him and said, "To realize one's destiny is a person's only real obligation. And when you want something with all your heart, the universe always helps you." Over the next few days, Santiago and the alchemist traveled through dangerous lands. They talked about fear, purpose, and the meaning of life. The alchemist told him, "People are afraid to pursue their dreams because they fear failure. But the secret is, failure is just a step towards success. Your heart is your guide," he continued. "Listen to it, even when it's afraid, even when it hurts." Santiago was learning. Alchemy wasn't just about turning metals into gold. It was about turning yourself into something greater, purifying your soul, trusting your journey. And that's when Santiago realized the true treasure was not a chest of gold, it was the person he was becoming. Santiago had found love in Fatima, wisdom from the alchemist, and a deeper connection to the world around him. He was closer to the pyramids, but more importantly, he was closer to himself. The desert didn't just test him, it transformed him. And now, he was ready for the final step. The desert winds blew stronger now. Santiago was walking tired, quiet, and focused. He had come so far, from the hills of Spain to the endless sands of Egypt, from a shepherd to a seeker of truth. Beside him rode the alchemist, calm, silent, watching Santiago closely. The boy had changed. His heart was no longer full of fear, it was full of faith. One night, they camped beneath the stars. Santiago looked up at the sky and whispered, "I'm ready." The alchemist smiled. "Then listen carefully," he said. "The treasure you seek is real, but before you reach it, you will be tested. Every dream is tested, not to destroy it, but to make sure it's truly yours." He continued, "At the point of greatest fear, most people give up. But if you hold on, even for a moment more, you win." The alchemist gave Santiago one final gift, a lesson that wasn't in words. He told him to listen to the desert, speak to the wind, and trust the soul of the world. Santiago was confused, but deep down, he knew. He was close. Days later, Santiago finally arrived. There they were, the pyramids of Egypt, golden, massive, ancient. He fell to his knees, tears filled his eyes. After all the pain, the fear, the waiting, he had made it. He looked up at the stars and thanked the universe. "Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for the signs." He began to dig at the foot of the pyramid, his hands moving fast, his heart beating louder. He was ready to find his treasure, the thieves. But then, something terrible happened. Suddenly, a group of thieves appeared out of the dark. They kicked him, beat him, stole what little he had. Santiago tried to explain. "Please, I came here because of a dream. There's a treasure buried here." The leader of the gang laughed. "You fool," he said. "I had a dream too, that there's treasure buried under a ruined church in Spain where a shepherd used to sleep with his sheep." Then he kicked the sand, spit on the ground, and walked away. The thieves disappeared into the night, leaving Santiago bleeding, broken, and alone. Santiago lay there, silent. The words echoed in his mind. A ruined church in Spain where a shepherd used to sleep. Suddenly, everything became clear. His treasure wasn't in Egypt. It was right where his journey began, under the tree, in the ruins, in Spain. The dream wasn't a map. It was a message. A way to make him grow, learn, and become ready. The alchemist was right. The journey was more important than the treasure, because through it, Santiago had found something far greater than gold. He had found himself. Months later, Santiago returned to Spain. He walked to the same old church, the same tree, and dug in the ground just like he had dreamed. And there, hidden beneath the earth, he found it. A real treasure. Gold, jewels, riches beyond imagination. But Santiago just smiled, because this time, it wasn't about the treasure. It was about the man he had become to find it. Santiago had lost everything, more than once, but each time he gained something deeper. He learned to listen to his heart, he learned to trust the universe, and most importantly, he learned that the real treasure is not a chest full of gold. It's the wisdom, love, courage, and growth that comes from following your dream. Fatima, the alchemist, the desert, the omens, they were all part of the plan. Every pain, every delay, every fear had a reason. Because dreams aren't given easily. They test you, shape you, break you so they can build you. Santiago started his journey as a boy chasing a dream, but he ended it as a man who understood his soul. Santiago had found the treasure, the gold, the jewels, the chest buried beneath the old tree in Spain. But that wasn't what made him smile. He smiled. He had already found something greater. He had found himself. The real meaning of the journey. This story wasn't just about a boy finding treasure. It was about how the world speaks to us, through dreams, people, pain, and signs. Santiago followed a dream that led him across oceans, deserts, and dangers. But at every step, he grew stronger, wiser, more alive. The truth is, we are all Santiago. We all have a personal legend, a dream, a calling, that something deep inside us that whispers, there's more to your life than this. But most people ignore that voice. They say, it's not possible, it's too late, it's too risky. What if I fail? The dream inside you. Just like Santiago, you might be afraid to take that first step. Maybe you want to start a business, or become an artist, or speak your truth, or live a life of freedom. And maybe you feel lost, unsure if the treasure even exists. But remember this, the treasure is real, the signs are real, and you are worthy of the journey. Just like Santiago, you might lose things. Friends may not understand, life may test you, but it's all part of the process, because what you become along the way is the real reward. Here are the 5 most powerful lessons from Santiago's journey, lessons that can change your life too. Follow your personal legend. Your dreams are not random. They are your purpose in disguise. Even if it feels impossible, follow that whisper inside you. It's leading you somewhere only you are meant to go. 2. The universe helps those who believe. When you take the first step, the world moves with you. You'll meet the right people, find the right tools, see the right signs, but only if you start. Love should not stop your journey. Real love, like Fatima's, supports your growth. It doesn't hold you back. It says, go, fly, I'll be here when you return. If love demands you to shrink, it's not love. Failure is not the end, it's the test. Santiago was robbed, lost, broke, but every fall made him wiser. Every delay made him stronger. The path to treasure is never straight, but every curve is preparing you for what's next. The treasure is often where you started. In the end, Santiago found treasure right where he began, but he had to leave home to see its value. Sometimes we have everything, but we can't see it until we grow. The Alchemist is more than a story, it's a message, from one dreamer to another. If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever wondered, is there more to life than this? Then the answer is yes. Your life has a deeper purpose, but no one else can walk that path for you. It starts when you say, I believe in my dream. I will follow it, no matter what. You might fall, you might fail, but the reward is waiting. The treasure is not just gold. It's the fire in your heart, the peace in your soul, and the life you were born to live. If this story moved you, if you felt even a single moment of truth, then take this as a sign. Follow your dreams. Trust the process, and always listen to your heart. And if you want more stories like this, deep, emotional, powerful, subscribe to Book Summary Vault. Because here, we don't just talk about books, we unlock the wisdom inside them. Like the video. Share with someone chasing their dream. Comment, I will follow my personal legend. If you're ready to begin,